Hello, I'm going to be helping you guys out with the meditation challenge, particularly connecting the armature to a character model, and I'm going to be showing you guys my process on how to do it. I had to watch a few YouTube tutorials, so I will be referencing them, and I will leave their links in the description below so you can reference the videos, because some of the information that they're going to tell you is useful, but I'm going to kind of skip over some stuff and just show you the streamlined process of how to do this. So right now, I found this Spider-Man Homecoming model on CG Trader. Right now, if I hit the play button, you're going to see that he does nothing. I already done a model to make him do it. This is the original armature. And we're going to go from this to this, basically. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is decide on an armature. I'm going to pick a different one just so we have something new going on. So I'm going to go to File, Import the FBX. And the first thing I'm going to do is come over to the animations. I'm going to pick just a random one. I'm going to do 20. Make sure that you have automatic weights turned on here. So again, animation 20. So now I'm going to hit GX just to slide it over. So now we've got a different motion happening. And you know what? I'm actually going to delete. I'm going to delete these guys here for now. All right. So we've got our model here. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is get this particular model into a T pose, because right now he's mocking what he's doing, but we need to have him in a T pose. So the first thing we're going to want to do is duplicate that first keyframe for the animation. I'm going to hit Shift D, bring it over to the first frame. So now we're going to see that they're connected. So the first two frames should have the same pose. And now we're going to go back to the beginning, and we're going to make it into a T position. So we're going to go to the 0 frame here. You have to be in pose mode. If you're not in pose mode, this part will not work. You need to hit Alt-R to reset the position into this T pose. And then I'm going to hit I to insert a keyframe for location rotation. And now when I hit play, you'll see that he goes from the T pose into the animation. All right, so now the next step would be we need to have our armature for our character model in this T pose. So what I decided to do, I'm going to bring him over into Mixamo. I have already downloaded him and set him up. And again, you can click any of these and he'll do whatever you decide. I need the T pose right now. So we're going to download this T pose. I've already done it, so I won't hit download, but I would keep everything here the same. And now I'm going to come back to our animation here, and I'm going to import our new FBX file. All right, and you're going to see actually that Spider-Man is real tiny, so we're going to scale this guy up, and it's nice that that guy's there because it can kind of give you a height reference, and to me that looks pretty good. So I'm going to scoot this guy over. There's a couple things I want to do really quick. So step one would be to go into pose mode, make sure all your bones are selected, go to pose, convert rotation modes. It should be set on quaternion, which it's too much. It's too much data. So I bring it down to an XYZ. We'll hit OK. Now that everything is in XYZ, I'm going to come over here to our armature. Let's go back to object mode. We'll select that. Pose mode. I'm going to do this just to make sure I see all the bones are selected. I still hit A anyway. I'm going to come over here to pose. And now this one for sure we need to set to XYZ. I don't necessarily think you needed to do it to this one, but for my brain it made more sense to do it to both. So now that this one is in XYZ mode as well, we need to transfer this data into this data. So the way that we're going to do this, we're going to be using the Rococo add-on for Blender. And basically all we have to do now is hit the source, which this is our source. That's what's going to be doing the animation. And this is where we're going to be putting the animation. And then we're going to build a bone list. And now this part's important because I don't really check it, but at the same time I kind of do. I just do a quick scroll through just to make sure some stuff kind of makes sense. Right foot, toe base, spine. So I'll just do a quick little scroll through. I don't really want to see duplicates. It's looking pretty good. Even if there was a error for it, it'll tell you if it can or cannot do it. So next thing I'm going to do is hit retarget animation. And then you're going to notice that Spider-Man moved over here. So I'm going to grab him and bring him back here just so he's closer to where everything else is. And I'm going to hit the space bar, and you're going to see the animation's going, but he is his arms are crossed and it looks horrible. So we're gonna fix that. But this is where that XYZ part comes into play. So when we go back into pose mode, I'm gonna select this guy, the ball thing. I honestly have no idea what this even does. But the first thing I'm gonna do is we're just gonna look at my armature side by side. I'm gonna notice that the shoulders are down and that the arms are kind of rotated. So I'm gonna select this. And right here we got XYZ. I also have already turned on only selected curve keyframes. So when I do that, I can't accidentally choose another curve. So I'm going to start with the X location. I'm going to hit G to grab, do it on the Y axis so we can move it up and down, and you'll notice that his arm is moving. So I'm going to straighten out that arm a bit. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side here. Okay, now we're going to do the arm bones here. Now you're going to notice that the graphs here, something went wrong. I don't know what happened, but again, I'm just gonna grab these, and I've only been using the Y axis to kind of fix some of it. So I'll use that to kind of bring that down, using the Y axis again to kind of have his hand more out. And then we've got the Z here, which will kind of extend it a little bit too. So it looks like that's good. And honestly, even if it's not perfect, it'll kind of just, I feel like, add to the animation. You'll notice that the hands aren't as close together as this one is, but when I go in to watch it, we'll see that, you know, it's going. And again, you can go into these curves and tweak the bones as best as you want, but this is just a quick way to kind of handle that. So yeah, basically key things to take away from this are to make sure that you convert this just so there's a little bit less data to the XYZ, and make sure you're in pose mode to do it. I think it's easier just to upload stuff to Mixamo for a T pose and then transfer it later. The Rococo add-on is amazing, and that's basically all I have for you today. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments, and also in the comments drop your version of the meditation challenge. I want to see what everybody's working on, and I will keep you guys posted.